In today's brief video, I want to take a moment and talk to you guys about the cost of cannabis addiction, a price that I paid after struggling for several years from cannabis substance use disorder. Now, if you wind up enjoying today's video, be sure to check out the pinned comment or the video description. This August of 2023, I'm launching a masterclass on quitting cannabis for business professionals. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you own your own business, if you have a professional license, this is definitely something that you're going to want to check out. And you can learn more about that in the pinned comment or the video description. There's two costs when it involves cannabis addiction. There is what I call the upfront cost, and then there's the back end cost. Now, the upfront cost is the amount of money that we're spending on the substance. This cost is visible and it's quantifiable. So this is, I'm spending $100 a month on cannabis. I'm spending $200 a month on cannabis. I'm spending $1,000 or more a month to smoke weed. This is the upfront cost that you are paying in order to maintain this drug. Now, I could add to that upfront cost because for myself, and I think a lot of other people, cannabis and that behavior of smoking tended to lead into other negative behaviors. So maybe you get high and then you're blowing your money on Uber Eats or other food delivery services. Maybe you're getting high and then you're having a craving to watch adult media content and you're spending money on OnlyFans or some type of premium adult media content. Maybe you get high and when you're high you like to smoke cigarettes or vape nicotine. So try and take into consideration what is the actual physical cost, the material cost of smoking weed. And what I recommend you do is you break it down to how much you spend per day, extrapolate that to how much you spend per week, take that out to how much you spend per month, and then take that to how much you spend per year. And this gives you a good idea of your upfront cost when it comes to maintaining weed addiction. In the upfront cost, I suppose I could also include the interest or the dividends that you're missing out on. So for example, if you would have taken that, let's say $500 a month and invested it into, some index funds and received, 7 to 12% a year of return on your investment, how much money are you missing out on in that case? Because it's not only the money that you're spending right now, but it's the money that could have been invested. And if we take a really, really conservative return of 7 to 12% with just your standard investing, that's also money that it's costing you, right? Money that's wasted, it's not just the money that you spent, it's what you could have done with that money that could have made you more money that's also being burned. Okay, that's the upfront cost. Now we have the back end cost, and this is the cost that often robs the consumer blind. Me once being a consumer of cannabis, you possibly being the consumer in this case, if you're watching this video. And this is the cost of your time. This is the cost of your energy. This is the cost of your presence in your career, in your business, in your family, right? There's a cost maybe to your children, maybe to your wife, maybe to your husband. There's a cost maybe to your employees or your co-workers. Your time, there's a cost to that. It's worth something, right? Your time is valuable. What's it worth? There's a cost to your patience, there's a cost to your motivation, there's a cost to your goals, and ultimately, it's costing you a certain amount of potential, right? One of the worst things is to wake up one day and say, oh, what could have I been? What could have I done? And cannabis, there is a cost when we struggle with cannabis substance use disorder or addiction to each of those things. And this is what I call the back end cost. Once I made that decision to start getting sober and pursue a path of recovery, after about a year, I started to realize just how significant that back end cost was. It was costing me relationships. It was costing me time with family and friends, time that I can never get back. it was costing me financially in the development of and growth of my business. It was costing me financially in the development and growth of my career, and more specifically, my bank account. And after now having achieved a pretty decent streak of sobriety and recovery here, and I don't even consider myself sober or recovered, I just don't smoke weed. After quitting drugs, I can't explain how significant that back end cost was. And this is usually what gets people, right? Like if you think of your cable bill or something, there's like this upfront cost, right? This is what they show you. It's like, you know, whatever it is a month. But then there's all these little added fees. And it's all those little added fees that we don't see in the fine print. That's what adds up. That's what really, really takes away from us at the end of the day. Because everyone's dinging us for a little fee here and there, here and there, here and there. And when it comes to cannabis substance use disorder or addiction, it's no different. Every time you're consuming the drug, you're paying an upfront cost, and then you're experiencing a back-end cost. And the question that you have to start to ask yourself is, what is my time worth? What is my motivation worth? What is it worth if I don't hit that max potential? What is it worth if I don't achieve that goal in my business, in my faith, in my relationship? What is the value on that? And I'll tell you now, looking back and at where I'm at now to where I was, there was a figure on that. Like there was a dollar sign figure that I could attribute to my time, my energy, my potential. And that number is significantly higher than I ever guessed it would have been. And this is that's a beautiful thing, right? At the end of the day. So I think for a lot of people, when you're clouded by addiction and when you're spending recklessly, right, on the upfront and back end cost, you kind of lose sight of a lot of those things. And I think this is one of the saddest, most expensive things when it comes to addiction. And I believe firmly you have to ask yourself, is this drug, is this substance, is this addiction becoming too costly? How much longer can you afford this? Physically, mentally, financially, spiritually, relationship-wise, career-wise, business-wise? How much longer do you have that you can afford to not make a change, to not take action, and maybe start to pursue a different path? If you are in business for yourself, I think this topic especially applies to you, because in that case your time is the most valuable thing. So for anyone watching this who has a professional license, who's an entrepreneur, a social media influencer, who holds an executive role in a company, who has employees, I urge you, please check out the pinned comment, check out the video description to learn more about our Quitting Weed program. For professionals, for business professionals. Again, we're going to launch in August, early August, and we have some discounts on the total cost of it if you wind up registering beforehand. Now, if you stay tuned to the channel, I'm going to have some live Q&A sessions regarding this program in August. We're going to do some live Zoom calls. They're free to attend if you want to learn more about it. So make sure you're part of our email list. You can hop on that by downloading the free 7-step guide to quitting weed today, or just keep an eye on the pinned comments in my upcoming videos, including this one, where you can find links to register for those Zoom Q&A sessions regarding our August program, Quitting Weed for Business Professionals. All right, guys, until next time.